Okay, we're broadcasting. I don't see Woodhill or Tanda as the two usual ones. We got 10 this class. I think somebody had dropped it live streaming. Some, only 6 people took the test. Caleb will take tomorrow, that's 7. I put 2 on county vote. The test I will with you, right, class, on the live stream. So the same deal. Okay. But the test, fair grades on them. I'm not complaining about the grades. I think most of you did okay. But now, chapter 7, we've been talking about burns, and we need to end this chapter up. But there's still problems we haven't finished, problems we should have looked at, we may not have looked at. But we may look at a couple today. Now, I don't know if you have anything marked in your book or not, but I just want to keep asking you what problems we did work. Now, for today, I'll tell you what those are. Olivia, I'm going by Olivia. But problems that you need to look at in this chapter. Go back to page 285, and we should have looked at problem 22, 3, 4, and 6. Now, I'm not worried about reviewing those whatsoever, because we had plenty of labor variances and we had plenty of material variances. All right, on page 286, make sure you understand 27, 29, and 30. And again, those were variances and journal entries with them to take care of those variances. So hopefully we looked at some of those. Let me show you problem 30, for example. We should have worked some of these. I just don't remember going over all of these, but now you need to practice some with journal entries in them. Does anybody remember if we went over this one or not? I had it marked that we did, but anybody remember it? We'll need to practice some with journal entries. But anyway, raw materials inventory was 60,000, accounts payable 6,100. All right. So it looks like an unfavorable variance we would debit. All right. A favorable variance we would credit. And again, labor rate variance, hopefully that's favorable. Labor efficiency variance is with that. Whoa, I got that backwards. All right. Favorable is like a gain. It would be credit. Unfavorable is like a loss or expense. It would be debit. Okay. All right, so we need to practice some with journal entries, which I don't think we've done well with yet. All right. On page 207, make sure you understand problem 33. On page 288, problem 34 and 37. Now, did we do number 37? All right, I'm going to add 37 on right now. We got to practice some journal entries with variances. So we're going to wrap this chapter up somewhat today and on Thursday. So 37, we'll look at that one Thursday. I do 41 for Thursday. 37 and 41 for Thursday. That brings us over to 44, which Olivia said we had for today. So for Thursday, we're going to look at journal entries for overhead. All right, so here's your assignments for Thursday. Problem or exercise, it doesn't matter. 31, 41, 58, 61, and read chapter 8. Okay, this brings us up to date for Thursday. We got to practice journal entries for Thursday, okay, on variances. We're going to look at those 2, 3, and 4 variances. We're not looking at them today. But anyway, today's first exercise was 44. This company produced 12-ounce cans of mixed pecans and cashews. Pecans, 6 ounces, $6 a pound, and cashews, $8 a pound. Actual quantities and cost for production of 36,000 cans. Determine the material price, mix, and yield. Price, mix, and yield. All right. Doing those 3 variances. Livy, did you get one of these variances? Did you get the price variance? Kayla back here probably don't have any of them. She's been sick. How many days that last you, Kayla? My daughter had the flu down in Knoxville. It lasted 3 weeks.
I've never had a stomach for the last 3 days.
Yeah. Well,
But they said that flu was terrible.
yeah, and I had a sister in Detroit. It lasted 3 weeks. So, well, that was, well, you don't like anything, so. You should do like I do. Wait till you have a spring break or a fall break or a summer break to get sick. I don't get sick during work time. I'm off. Everybody can't plan it that way. Okay, number 44, look at that one real quick. Price variance you're totally familiar with. All right, so look at A part. Your standard mix is 50% pecans and 50% cashews. Total pounds used, you can multiply that out. A 12-ounce can takes 6 ounces. Somebody multiply 36,000 times 6. I don't know what that gives you. Multiply 36,000 cans. Well, that don't look right. Something's not right. Do what? You'd think we'd have to use that somewhere. Maybe I'm ahead of myself. All right, total pounds used. Now, would we have a clue on that? Standard quantities and cost, 6 ounces at $6 a pound. They're just figuring up pounds. All right, let me back up. How do you figure 15,554 pounds? Look at that. Maybe I'm overlooking something. How do you figure 56,000? How do you figure 12,726 pounds of cashews? Did it give it to you? See, I may be overlooking it.
It says the actual quantities and cost of production for 36,000 cans. They give you the pounds at a certain price.
I know, but where do you see that, Caleb? Maybe I'm blind to that. Let me see that. I'm blind. Okay. Be the blind or half asleep, but yeah, it's right there. Okay. So your actual quantities, I was just looking at 36,000 cans, and that's as far as I got down. But it gave you pecans at 580, and it gave you cashews at 850, and those are above standard of 6 and 8. All right. Total pound juice 28. Now your actual mix is 15,554 divided by the 28,280. So here we work that out to get 55% pecans. We add them together, we get 28, but what percent of that 28 is pecans? It's 55. So your standard quantity, now these 36,000 cans times 12 ounces divided by 16 ounces equals 27,000 pounds. Now, standard quantity, is there a more simple way to get that? We know it's 36,000 pounds. I thought you only had to put in 6 ounces. It was 6 ounces of each, wasn't it? So it is 12 ounces. Okay, there's 16 ounces in a pound. So that stands to reason that we're using 27,000 pounds. Actual price of pecans times 580, and your actual price of cashews times 850. Standard price was the $6 and the $8. So your standard price and mix, actual quantity of pecans, standard price and mix, actual quantity of cashews, standard for pecans. And there's got to be a simpler way to set that up, folks. There's got to be, and maybe this is it. You can see it better when it's set up. Actual quantity, actual price, pecans and cashews, actual quantity, it's your mix, standard price. Over here you get standard quantity, standard price, actual quantity, standard price. All right, so here you get your materials price variance. You should get that one pretty easy. And here you get your mix variance, and here you get your yield variance. All right, what is the AM? What? We got AM and SM. What do they stand for? Standard mix, and actual mix. I think actual mix and standard mix. All right. Any question on that mix? I know you're not probably totally with it today on it. That's okay. We will review these Thursday. Maybe we'll have more people here. We need to review it with. All right. 48 branches and journal entries. And this is going to be tough on a test if we don't practice it. All right, now 48, compare material and labor variances based on material price variance on the quantity of materials purchased. Assuming a perpetual inventory system is used, prepare the relevant general journal entries. Okay, this is not that bad. To get your variance, your actual price times your actual quantity, standard price times actual quantity, and you got your price variance. We're not doing the efficiency variance or the quantity variance. All right, maybe we did too. Now here we got standard price times actual quantity, standard price times standard quantity. Now that does give you 600 unfavorable.
Could you go just a second? I'll do it this way. Thank you.
All right, I think those are pretty easy to see. Let's make sure, Lorenzo. They gave you,
Yeah, it was just a page.
I want to make sure they gave you everything we're looking at. We got the 60,000 pounds standard, quantity. We got $3 a pound standard. We got the 308 pound actual. So we've got all of these numbers given. So there's no problem to get a price variance. All right. Now, if we go on down to B part, well, let's see what the rest of A part said. Compute materials and labor variances, materials and labor variances. Now on labor, all right, here's the 100 hours, what the 25 cents is per pound. So we got standard price times standard quantity. It was $3. They give you that. Standard price times standard quantity, $3. They gave you that. That's still on that 600 material variance. Now let's go down and look at the labor. It was 100. Why are we dividing 100,000 or multiplying by 1/20th of an hour? Is that all it takes per unit? 100,000 units times 1/20th of an hour? Do you know how much 1/20th of an hour would be, Robert? Now, what is 1/20th of an hour? Probably 3 minutes. That's what I was thinking. All right, 60 minutes times 1/20, and 20 divided in 60 would be 3 minutes. So 3 minutes per unit. So it only takes 5,000 hours to produce 100,000 units. So standard is 5,000, but actual was 5320 times 880 actual. Standard price was $9. Now you know that labor rate variance is going to be favorable because you're paying 880 when the standard is 90 or 9. Now over here, the standard is 5,000. You use 5320. You know that's going to be unfavorable. So that's 320 units times $9. 320 times 9 will still give you the 2880 or the difference. And over here it is 20 cents. 20 cents times 5320 will also give you 1,064. Okay, those were straight out variances, and here are straight out journal entries. All right, B, your raw materials inventory is 180,000. Debit your materials price variance 4,800. And credit your accounts payable 184,800. That 4,800 should have been unfavorable. Materials quantity variance 600. That should have been unfavorable. Wait a minute now. Go back and look. $4,800 is unfavorable. 1,064 was favorable. 2,880 unfavorable. All right, so unfavorable is, as I said, think of it as an expense or loss debit. 600 unfavorable. And here, labor efficiency variance, 2,880 unfavorable, 1,064 favorable. So know these journal entries. We'll look at them one more time Thursday before we 100% leave them. Let's look at number 56, 1, 2, 3 variances, and I'm going to have you to calculate those for Thursday, so please look at these. $56, total overhead variance will be your actual overhead minus your applied. All right. Now, when you get down to B part, we got budgeted overhead that's fixed, $6 times 3,180. Combined overhead rate, $9 plus $6 is 15. Standard hour 62 times a half a unit per item is 31,000. Half an hour labor, whatever you want to call it, still 31,000. This had to be given. All right, so let's look at B part. Here you've got variable overhead variance, fixed overhead variance, budget overhead variance, and applied overhead variance. When you take variable and fixed, total, and here you take variable and fixed, the total, and the difference is your budget variance of 16,350. Now over here, the difference between budgeted output and applied, the difference is 22,350. And we need to get a handle on that. Now, see the volume variance, your variable, your fixed, your budgeted is variable and fixed, then your budgeted output, variable and fixed. All right, total spending variance and total efficiency variance. Now, I don't think everybody did that. All right, so what I want you to do, I want you to turn in number 59 on Thursday. This is a bonus on your next test. Turn in 59 on Thursday. Robert, you or Olivia one can tell Tanda, and maybe Giorgio will see Lorenzo or somebody to get this problem in Thursday. And whoever else is out there and is looking at this videotape today. Problem 59, we got to practice that seriously. I just feel like I'm going over numbers and it means nothing today. Okay, today's in, I believe Olivia, did you say we had 79, Olivia? All right, 44, 48, 56, and all right, it was 59. So that's the one I want you to turn in for a bonus on Thursday. Olivia may already have it worked. Do you already have it worked, Olivia? You know? Okay, I want you to turn it in on Thursday. All right. I'm going to talk about a master budget for a few minutes, starting on page, I guess, 302. We talked about budget in the past. We talked about who had a home budget in the past. Home budgets are good if you stick to them. Home budgets is good if you have low income. Home budgets help you plan. You see where you waste money, you might see where you can spare money or spend money or tighten up. Now, budget, and I've told you this before, Lorenzo, Ben Franklin, you've heard of him?
Yeah.
Okay. Is he on a $5 bill or $50 bill? Abraham Lincoln's on Franklin on $50 bill. And Franklin is on what coin? On the coin. There's been a lot of 50-cent pieces, silver 50-cent pieces. Anyway, Ben Franklin had a saying, a penny saved is a penny earned. And I've told you all before, a penny saved is 2 pennies earned. If you find a penny out here in the parking lot, same as 2 pennies, because my salary at Bluefield State, time they take out retirement, Social Security and Medicare, federal and state taxes, I'm lucky to get 1 penny for every 2 pennies. So if I find 1 penny, that's the same as 2 pennies to me for tax. Now there's another saying, and probably some, Caleb may have heard this, I don't know. Have you ever heard eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow you may be dead? Eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow you may be dead. Eat, drink, and be happy, for tomorrow you may be dead. You ever heard that?
No.
That means spend what you have now, or you might be dead tomorrow. But you gotta go in between those 2 theories. You can't be a miser. I don't want you to be a miser and be tight, a hermit or whatever. And there's people like that. But yet you don't eat, drink, and spend everything today, because tomorrow you may be alive. Okay? When you all start working, one of the first things you should try to do is save up enough for 6 months in case you got fired or laid off, that you've got enough savings to support you for 6 months in between jobs. All right, now you may save that up in sickness taxes, but at least you'll have it. So you should save up. Now, of course, you always should have a little bit put aside for emergencies. So budgeting is pretty much what we talked about before. We got a master budget that we're going to be looking at. And, of course, budgets are information for sales forecasting. We've talked about that before, but we'll talk more about it Thursday when we get serious about the chapter. We're going to have a labor variance, overhead variance, and a materials budget or variance.
So budget will be chapter 8.
Yeah, chapter 8 is what I want you to read for Thursday. You have the production budget. You have the purchase budget for materials. You have the overhead budget. You have the labor budget. You have the sale administrative budget. You have a capital budget. Now, a capital budget is buying property, plant, and equipment. But most of all, we have a cash receipts budget. So look at page 374. So, you know we're going to have variances on your next test. But if you look at this chapter of page 374, you're going to have a cash budget on your next test. It's just hard for me to make a multiple choice test. I'd like to, it'd be easier to grade. So we will be planning January, February, March's budget or something similar. We will be collecting money, accounts receivable, and from from sales, and we will be spending money on what they've got here, and we'll end up with a cash budget. Something real similar to what you did in managerial. I mean, real simple. Now, that main budget is on the next page, page 318. We mostly looked at cash collection. On page 318, if you look at receipts and disbursements and financing or not financing, that's what we lead up to in this chapter. And I think some of you are already comfortable with it. Just not enough books have budgeting in it. I don't care if you're a government, proprietorship, corporation, profit, non-profit, everybody needs a budget. All right? Every business needs a budget. Every household don't necessarily need a budget. Okay, you know your assignment for Thursday. I'm going to quit broadcasting now. I'm going to let Kayla get lost.